Hi, so in this session we are going to be looking at frozen shoulder and how it is so heavily linked to perimenopausal and menopausal health. So a lot of women come to a certain stage in their life and one day they wake up and they're no longer able to lift their arms above shoulder height. And they tend to link this to maybe the exercise they've been doing, maybe something like they've been lifting shopping bags and you're racking your brain. How on earth, yesterday I could lift my arm all the way up and today I can only lift my arm to halfway. And this is because the shoulder girdle and specifically the armpit, the brachial nerve complex, which runs from here all the way down into our pelvis, is so heavily influenced by estrogen. And we know that when we hit perimenopausal, our estrogen starts to decline, and when we go through menopause, there is huge shifts. Now, unfortunately, sometimes with frozen shoulder, mobility work and breath work isn't enough, and you will need to go see a specialist and have help. But if you feel you can give yourself something to help with your frozen shoulder pain before you go and see a specialist, I can show you today with Sarah what I use to help encourage movement and decrease pain. And we use this through two different things. So the first one is a decompression of a variety of the nerves around the shoulder joint up into the neck and into the back of the head as well. So we're going to start with that. And then the second thing is that we come into a rocking and neural flossing, which means that we're going to move the nerves from the end point, and we're going to change their direction with breath work and then with rocking, which the nervous system and the fascial system really loves. And you can test at the beginning of the exercises and at the end to see if there's any more movement or any less pain. So I'm pretty sure with Sarah, you don't have any frozen shoulder complaints. So today she's just going to be my guinea pig. But if you are struggling with some pain in the shoulder girdle, before we even begin, just take your arms, maybe one at a time, and just move them in all directions and see where the pain starts or how high you can get. Maybe even see if you can do the test where you see if you can grab your bra strap behind you, because it's all in directional forces when you're looking at frozen shoulder. So to begin with, I'm going to ask Sarah. So these are the fascial release balls that are going to be linked underneath the video. They're the squidgy ones, so they're not too hard because I don't want you to be in any pain. And I'm going to ask Sarah to start with to pop these in your armpits. So you know where we're going with this, but we're going straight into the armpit. So we're going straight into the brachial nerve complex. So we can see on Sarah that she's hiding the balls. So I don't want to be able to see them. Now with your arms, if you can you place your palms up and relax your shoulders? Now Sarah's going to start to feel a little bit of compression. Now the tighter you are, you may feel some nervy tingling in your fingertips. That's okay. We don't panic about that. There's just sensation. And I'm going to ask Sarah to just either soften your gaze or close your eyes and keep your chin up for me. Good, lovely. So if sitting cross-legged like this isn't comfortable for you, you can do this sitting on a chair or a sofa. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but I'll show you this way today. Now, Sarah is now going to inhale and expand her rib cage, and then exhale and just lengthen the head. So we're coming straight into diaphragmatic breath, which we learned in a previous session. So as you inhale, the ribs expand and you feel a little bit more pressure into the balls and into that nerve complex in the armpits. And then as you exhale, you just lift yourself away from that sensation. Now, it's totally up to you how long you stay for in this particular fascial release. I would encourage at least a minute, so maybe 10 deep breaths. And you're just seeing whether the sensations increase or the sensations decrease. And you're thinking about how the body feels around the rib cage, around the armpits, and you're allowing your eyes to soften and your jaw to soften. You're just being completely in your body for this experience. It's a really nice way to start the decompression. So So when you're ready, Sarah, you can gently open your eyes and just take out the balls. So we're going to do a decompression around the head now. So the vagus nerve can be stimulated through your earlobes. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to pull out your earlobes from the bottom all the way up and round. So we're thinking about the vagus nerve, which runs down the back of the neck and comes through. Oh, just lost my microphone. And comes through down through the rib cage. And we start the stimulation by pulling out the ears all the way around. Now, if you want the added bonus from this, you can fake a yawn. So you just inhale, and we're just bringing you down from any sort of stress response and into your body. So the more you pull out your ear and the more you start to yawn, maybe you get a real yawn. And if you get that real yawn, you know that you've really stimulated your vagus nerve. So you've really come out of that stress response. And from here, so we'll do the first side and then we'll move on to the second. So you pulled out the earlobe. Now, there's a muscle that runs down the side of the neck. It's really big. It's called your sternocleidomastoid. You're going to start with 3 fingers at the top, and you're going to turn your head slightly away so the muscle pops out, and then you're going to pull the fingers down. So you're going to start just pulling the fingers down the sternocleidomastoid, inhaling at the top through the nose, exhaling open mouth. Beautiful. So you're just allowing that. Beautiful. And you can do this maybe 5, maybe 10 times. It's not too strong, but you want to feel it. Good. And then you're going to pause there and you're going to keep your head turned slightly. Now, there is a little divot behind your collarbone, and this is what we call a lymph release. So it's what we use to move lymph around your body. So when we've decompressed through the ear and we've decompressed through the neck, we want to move that lymphatic drainage away from that area. And we do this by opposite hand behind the collarbone, and we just pump it. So you just pump that section. It's going to feel like a nothing. It's not going to feel like much at all, but you just pump it, maybe 5 to 10 times. And that's just stimulated that lymph to release. So we're just decompressing that whole side. So you've gone from the earlobe, you've gone down the sternocleidomastoid, and then you've pumped out the end. It's a really nice little thing that you can do for yourself. So we'll do that all on the other side, otherwise you're going to feel really wonky. So from the ear, just pulling out the ear all the way around, and start that practicing the yawn. See if you can really encourage a real yawn. The main thing that we're always looking for in all of this work is to relieve yourself of stress. There's loads of little tricks that we can do to bring yourself out of that sympathetic nervous system, so out of your fight or flight and into your parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest, and heal. From here, you're going to turn the head away so that you can pull down the sternocleidomastoid. Lovely. So you just take your fingers and pull down. Good. Nice. And you can carry on yawning for this, or you can just deep breathe. It's totally up to you. Yeah, Sarah's got a real one. She's really relaxed. We did it. And then using the opposite hand, find the space behind the collarbone and just pump out that lymph. Yeah, so the collarbone is here and she's right behind it in that little space. You can feel it now, can't you? Brilliant. Now, the last one that we're going to do is actually linked to the biggest muscle in your back, your latissimus dorsi. So we've done the brachial nerve complex, which was right in your armpit, and the last one we do is the lat muscle. So if you feel behind, you can kind of get hold of your lat, so that's perfect. And we do this by lying on your side with the ball in your lat. So you do put your arm up, you grab it, and then just put the ball there so you know when you lie down where it's going to be, and you're going to be lying on your side with the ball. Now, I will say, for some people, this can be extremely painful. So I want you to go into it without expectation. I'm just going to help Sarah to make sure that she's got it in the right place and can feel your lat. You've got a really nice, good lat muscle. And then you're going to make sure you're right on your side and let your head relax. Yes, so I kind of presumed that Sarah was going to really be able to feel this. So there is something else you can use. So if the fascial release balls are too much, you can use a Pilates ball, and it doesn't have to be completely filled up, and you can place this on your side. So Pilates balls work in the same way as the fascial release balls because the skin of the Pilates ball will stick to your skin, and that's what we're looking for. So we're looking for that connection from skin to skin. So,
and how long would I hold this for?
So I would say a good 10 breaths, unless it is super sensationary and you need to come out of it sooner. So as I said in another video when we were doing feet release, you don't want the body to ever feel like it's in pain. You want the body to feel safe. If the body feels like it's in pain, you're going to bring more tension into the area. So really relaxing, nice deep breaths, just enjoying this sensation. And then you can roll over and do the other side as well. Nice. So just palpate your lat muscle first. Place the ball into it as well so you know where it's going to go. Yeah, so Sarah has a really good lat. She's very strong. So if you don't have that strength in your lat muscles, it sometimes can be a little bit harder to find them. But you can just spend time lying on your side, moving from position to position, and eventually you will find what you're looking for. And again, if it is really too painful, you can use a ball. Good. And even when we're doing these exercises, we always use diaphragmatic breathing. So the inhale is to lift the top rib cage, and the exhale is to encourage a release of the ribs back down together. So not only does this just encourage the whole body to be working in unison, it's also still encouraging that vagus nerve stimulation. Vagus nerve is so important for stress release. And we want to be in a place of true healing throughout all of this work. Beautiful. So come up to sitting, Sarah, and we'll do the last one. So this is not technically a true fascial release exercise, but I really love it. So your tongue, I know we get weirder, your tongue is linked to the back of your neck, and it's linked to a main nerve complex. And sometimes the shoulders and the neck can be in true tension because the tongue is in true tension. So a tongue stretch is really, really important. Don't look at me like that. So you can have a little test and just look over your shoulders and see how far you can actually look round before you even start. Then come to the center, and I would really encourage you to do this with your eyes closed, because otherwise you're going to start laughing. With your eyes closed, I'd like you to stick your tongue out as far as it can go. And then I'd like you to move your tongue over to the right, and you're going to lift it up as high as you can go, and then push it down as low as you can go. And then lift it up as high as you can go, and push it down as low as you can go. Maybe just one more. Get a really good stretch. And then move your tongue all the way over to the left, and we'll do the same thing again. So I say 3 to 5 lifts and lowers, and you're just really trying to get as much stretch as possible in your tongue. And I will say that for my ladies with true frozen shoulder, it's amazing because they can't stick their tongues out at all. Sarah's got a really good stretch of her tongue, but when you do have true frozen shoulder, sometimes you can't get the tongue out of the mouth. And then come to the center, relax your shoulders, and just see if you've got a little bit more rotation in your head. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, magic.
Incredible.
So yeah, it's a really good way to just round out that all. So we've had a stimulation of the brachial nerve complex, we've stimulated our vagus nerve complex, we've released our sternocleidomastoid, and we've moved around the lymph. We've then come and released through our latissimus dorsi, and we've finished with the nerve complex of the tongue. So that's the warm-up. So you all warmed up and we're ready, and we're going to stand up now and carry on, and we're going to go straight into some neural flossing. So I'll get you to stand up. Now, I'd like you to stand on the mat, and we'll face forward. And can you stand with your feet hip width apart? So true hip width, which means that you're going to bring your fists together and check that your feet are actually hip width apart, so you can bend your knees and bend down and make sure you're hip width apart. Lovely, good. And then you're going to come up to standing. From here, you're going to relax your arms, relax your body, and I would like you to shift your weight from in your heels to a slightly uncomfortable in your toes, keeping your chin up for me. Now, I'm going to ask you to let go of your knees and keep your weight forward. Good. So Sarah's come from a back position to forward. Now your knees aren't bent, they're just let go of. So straighten your legs again, and then just let go of your knees. Good, so just let go. Yep, so not too bent, just let go of. Now lift your chin up for me, get really tall, and lengthen out the crown of your head. You're going to bring your hands into a wide V. Now I'd like you to think, so we're always working from the end of the nerves. So when I ask you to come into a fascial tensioning, and it's neural fascial tensioning, so it means that your nerves, neural myofascial, so it's nerves, muscles, and fascia all working together. We do this by bringing your head into your fingers. So you have to stretch through the fingers, and then you think about holding onto a doorknob and turning that doorknob inwards, and then sliding your hands towards each other. Beautiful. So there's a little bit of tension pushing down through the hands and a little bit of tension pushing out through the elbows, but the shoulders are relaxed and the chin is lifted. So it's a little bit of a funny position. Now, because frozen shoulder is completely linked to your pelvis, even when we're doing this work, we want to line up our diaphragms by moving forward, and then lift your chin up for me again. Good. So to start with, I'm going to ask Sarah to inhale, open her hands into a low V, and exhale, slide the hands back in front of her. Inhale, open up, and exhale, close. Good. So we're moving that nervous system coming down the arms, and we're externally rotating and then internally rotating, and we're using it from the extremities. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Beautiful. From here, we're going to bring our hands open into that low V. Now, we're going to inhale and pull the fingers back. And as you exhale, the thumb and the middle finger are going to come together, and we're going to roll the hands back. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Maybe just one more. Inhale to open. Good. You're going to really flex your hands. So let them flex. Yeah. Good. And then exhale to close. So you can see we're really going to the extremities. Maybe do that one more time. Inhale, flexion. Exhale, extension. Beautiful. Good. Shake it out for a moment. Now, we can also do this in different arm positions, so that what we just did with the opening and the closing and the flexing and the extension is neural flossing, okay? But we don't just have to do it in a low position. We can do it at a mid-height, and we can also do it as a high height. So we're going to have a go at doing it in both. But I would encourage you to keep it like this, nice and easy, until you get the flow of it. But I'm going to ask Sarah to add a little bit extra on, so you can see what happens when you bring movement with this. So the nervous system, so I should start with this actually, the fascial system loves movement. So when you're trying to release fascia, we're trying to encourage a glide. Okay, so when we're working with fascia, it's always to glide the fascia after each other. So we've got to get that movement happening. And the nervous system loves rhythm. So when you're working with the nervous system and the fascial system together, you're trying to get yourself into a rhythm. And a really lovely way to do that is to rock. So it always comes back to quite a simple body movement, but it's really nice to know why we're doing those simple body movements. So you're trying to get the nervous system and the fascial system together in conjunction and really happy to get that really lovely nervous, neural flossing to get that really good release happening. So to do that, I'm going to get you to come into that first position that I showed you, that internal rotation. I'm going to ask you to move the arms up, and we're here, a little bit more bend in the elbows, and then a little bit of strength. So if I was to come on the outside of you, you're going to push my hands out, and if I was going to come in front of you, you're going to push my hands forward. Then you're going to relax your shoulders, and then you're going to line up your diaphragm so I'm moving slightly forward. So in order to rock back, you're going to first have to rock towards your toes. When you inhale, you're going to rock to your heels and open your arms up. As you exhale, you're going to rock towards your toes and close. Inhale, open. Good. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. And you can do this as many times as it feels good. And when you get the hang of it, I encourage you to slow it right down. Your inhale is 6 counts. So as you inhale, you're going to slow it right down. Now, there is an energetic line coming out of Sarah's mid-finger, but there's also an energetic line coming back into her body. So even though she's pulling out, she's pulling in at the same time. So there's never too much extension. There's always that bringing back to center. And then as you exhale, you pull in. And as you pull in, you're bending your elbows and you're getting strong and you're feeling your back muscles turned on. So we're not just letting the body flow, we're really engaging and tensioning as well. Inhale to open and extend, and exhale to close in. Now, from here, we're going to come out to the side and we're going to stop the rock now. Your inhale is to flex the fingers back, and the exhale is finger and thumb together and wrists back. Inhale is to flex. Exhale is to close. Good. Relax your toes, relax your knees, keep your chin up for me. Beautiful. So loads of lovely things to keep telling yourself. Keep your chin up the whole time. Beautiful. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Good. Beautiful. Nice. And then shake it out. Good. So it gets quite hard, right? Because we're not just asking our body to flow, we're actually putting a little bit of tension in. The fascial system loves to be in a little bit of tension. It doesn't like to be overstretched or overpulled. So we want to keep strong whilst doing this. So last thing, so if you are struggling with frozen shoulder, this last one may not be accessible for you at the moment. So if you can only rotate your shoulders with low arms, please keep going for that one, and eventually maybe you'll get higher up. If you have found some more freedom in your shoulders or the pain is manageable, then you can come up to a high V and then bring the hands into that first position, but it's above your head. So when you're in this position, I want your hands to be a little bit further forward. So if you were going to look up, you could see them. Yeah, good. So they're always in your peripheral vision. You're going to let go of your knees and rock your weight towards your toes. Beautiful. You're rocked, heels down on the floor, though. Good. You're rocked forward so that when you inhale, you're going to rock back and open into a high V. And then exhale, rock forward, close again. Beautiful. Inhale to rock back. And exhale to rock forward. Keep the chin up the whole time. Inhale to rock back. And exhale to rock forward. Then we're going to open the hands to the high V. You're going to straighten your legs a little bit for me, not too much. Good. So from here, no rocking. Last neural floss of the day. Inhaling, pulling the fingers back. And exhaling, finger and thumb together, hands back. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Beautiful. Let's do a couple more. Keep the chin up. Exhale. One more. And close. And then relax. Beautiful. So I hope some of the things that we just covered in this session will really help you with any sensations brought on by frozen shoulder. And I hope that just the information that you are not alone, it is very common, and a lot of women going through perimenopause and menopause will suffer from frozen shoulder. So hopefully this helps.